Tonight, we're going to talk about a love story. How many like love stories? How many don't like the love stories? Anybody read those, I'll say it this way, the Christian romance novels? I'm not going to ask you to read those other ones. I know there's a lot of them out there, and they don't have all the junk in them. And I know people in my household that know to read them occasionally. Not me. Maybe. I think they got the same Kindle. Today is a love story that I want us all to try to get into. In fact, when you look at this book, that's exactly what it's about. From the beginning to the end, it tells a powerful love story. It has destruction, it has pain, it has hurt, it has restoration, and it has a wonderful ending. In just a few chapters, the book of Ruth tells a powerful story. So tonight, as we look into this book, I want us to, when the judges went to Israel, a severe famine came upon the land. So a man from Bethlehem in Judah left his home and went to live in a country called Moab. So back a long ways, when you have the Israelites, they're enslaved in Egypt. Remember that time? Well, God raises up someone to lead them out of slavery. What was his name? Moses. All right? Get the picture. We're going to fast forward through the story. Moses leads the people. They come to the Great Sea, and the sea parts. They walk across on dry land. Pharaoh's army tries to follow. It's wiped out. God's people are delivered miraculously. Right? Then he leads them up to the borders of the promised land. He says, all this land out there is yours. It's yours for the taking. I'm with you. I'm going to go with you. And you can have it. So they send out some spies to go check it out. And out of the spies, 2 of them came back and said, we're ready. We can go. But the majority said, we can't do it. There's giants in the land. There's things there that we can't handle. So God's people didn't go into the promised land. Instead, they ended up wandering in the wilderness for 40 years. And basically, they wandered till an entire generation died out. And after Moses died, you have Joshua as the leader, leading God's people. Okay? Are you with me? And now we're to a point, right at the end of Joshua's life. They've entered the promised land. They're going to the places God had sent them and instructed them. And Joshua dies, and now there is no real leadership in Israel. You've got the 12 tribes, really 13. But we know that Joseph's tribe is broken up in 2 different tribes, right? Manasseh and Ephraim. So we have these tribes. They have different parts of land all throughout the promised land. Are you with me? So you get that picture. And there's no true leadership. And can you imagine a nation with no leader? God's people begin to let the things of the world, in our church terms, the things of these other nations, their idols, their gods, their ways of worship, into the church. And the faith is watered down. And as a result, you soon see God's people turning their back on God. And they begin to set up poles, Asherah poles. They begin to worship Baal. They begin to do all these things except, and there I will be buried. May the Lord punish me severely if I allow anything but death to separate us. When Naomi saw that Ruth was determined to go with her, she said nothing more. So the 2 of them continued on their journey. When they came to Bethlehem, the entire town was excited by the arrival. Is this really Naomi? The woman's people had disobeyed. God's people had turned their backs on God. And as a result of those disobedience, famine and destruction came to the land in such a way where they couldn't even live. They had nothing. You know, during that time of Judges, there really was no law. There wasn't. The only thing we know is Ruth, for some reason, wanted to go back with Naomi. And what she ended up doing is making the ultimate She said, Naomi, I'm going to give you my life. I know you can't give anything back to me. I know you can't give me another husband. But still, I'm going to go with you. And I'm going to give my life to you. Would that be a difficult thing to do? Naomi's life, in my opinion, turned her back to God when she lost her husband. She lost her sons. It put her in her place, whatever that was, to begin to call back on the one she called on before, the God that she knew. And Ruth heard that. She knew it and had a desire to have a piece of that. So, again, when we look at this story, we see God's people in disobedience. We see tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. To be right dab and smack in the middle of your will, of the plan you have for us. Lord, I pray your blessings be upon your people, and you go and be with them, and your blessings will go as well. We thank you for that.